everybody, and welcome to Two Tall Stitchers. I'm Jennifer, and this is my mom, Carol. For those of you that haven't been with us before, welcome. For those of you that are back for more, we appreciate it every time you watch us. Today is a different episode. You will have seen in the title, Flosstube Extra. This is our 2023 finish parade. We are not the right ones to do a whip parade because we don't run many whips. It would be really quick and not very exciting. So instead, we thought we would come and show you all the stuff, most of the stuff that we finished in 2023. Sometimes we'll insert pictures because we don't have them anymore. Lots of things went away as gifts. But we are surrounded by, what is it?
Overwhelmed is another word.
Embarrassment of riches, is that what they say?
Looks like it.
With all the things that we still have to share with you.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say before we jump in?
No, Happy New Year. We're glad you're here. We hope you had a good holiday season, whatever you do. We have snow. If you followed me on Instagram, you know that. And unfortunately, it's not much, and it's kind of puny right now. Yeah. But it sure was pretty yesterday morning when it was just all over everything. And it was really nice. The neighbor across the street and his teenage son came over and used their snowblower to clear our driveway and our sidewalk. But as most of you know, if you have a man with a snowblower, they get so excited when it snows, they'll plow anything. They'd go do a Macy's parking lot if they could, just so they could run their snowblower. So, yeah, it was really nice. And so we, it's been a good season. Good season. Spend time with family, and now we're ready to dive into this. And good Lord, we have to put it all away when we're done. That's the trouble.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we're going to do this in segments. And so
that we don't drown when we move stuff around. Yeah,
we don't know which order we're filming in. So you'll just see it as we know which order we're going to put it in, but we'll film it out of order. Anyway, you guys don't care about all of that.
Nope.
So without further ado, enjoy.
Yeah. This time we have FFOs in the cross stitch world.
Yes.
And remember, she did the FFO challenge this year, so either go pee now or get yourself something to drink. Pause, because she has a truckload.
Yeah.
I'm sure glad I didn't have to pack them up and take them down to her house. I'm glad she got to bring them up here.
So let me start with, I finished a total of 40 FFOs in 2023, which far exceeded my expectations of what, now you're over there counting, I see, of what I had planned to do. My goal was 24 to a month, and I just blew that out of the water. I had so much fun with this challenge. Michelle and I have been talking about it quite a bit. She and I hosted it together. We had a great time.
And she's from
Penny's Daughter Shares. And it's just been great. So I won't spend a ton of time, but let me start with my 5 together, which will be a picture inserted, which are the flat fold I made for my 5 graduating Girl Scouts. And so each one is kind of an inspirational stitch with a message specific for them. And I gave them to them at their final ceremony. And I might put that picture in.
Yeah, that was nice because they were all holding them.
Yeah. So that, my first FFO was one of those. You want me to do?
Oh, you can do 2 or 3.
Okay. Okay. My second FFO is this bell pull, and this is Little House Needleworks Autumn ABCs, and it's on this cute pumpkin bell pull from Ackfeld Manufacturing.
Yep.
And I made this into just a bell pull hanging. My next 2 are actually shop models, and at the cross stitch shop we cleaned out about half the models yesterday
we came home
to bring
and found
home,
what we missed.
But there were more that we missed. So my next FFO was Love Lives Here by Country Cottage Needleworks, and then the one after that was Bumblebees and Flowers Please by
Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill Stitchery. Yes, that's correct. All right. You want to do a couple?
This is my winter pillow from Primrose Cottage Stitches, and it's
Christmas Quaker.
Christmas Quaker, I think it is, yeah. And it came with the buttons, and then as you can see, I actually sewed on a charm. So that's my 2023, one of my finishes.
Okay, this is Cardinal with Candy Cane by Hand Blessings, and this was my first stitching finish and my 5th FFO. Both of those happened in January of last year, and this is stitched on, I have my book, but I think this is stitched on 28 count slate, fabrics by Stephanie, with the called for colors. I was going to get my book. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And this was a freebie. It was a little St. Patrick's Day leprechaun type thing. And I filled it and I did the date on the back. And so this was fun and it was quick. And then actually this one isn't done. That's not this year.
Because you have a...
I have a
thing on it, yeah.
Okay, and this is my New Jersey one from...
Thread Milk.
Thread Milk, yes.
Yeah.
I have this one, and I believe it's the Indiana to make. And this went very quickly, and it was fun. And I actually had that, this pom-pom in my stash. So I got it all done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The fabric on Candy Cane was Picture This Plus slate.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Next up is another freebie. This is from the Scarlet House. I stitched it in completely different colors on that aqua fabric. And this one I stitched in 2021 and finished as my 6th finish of the year. It's on 32 count Jobelin that we hand dyed ourselves with aqua. And I used colors from my stash. And then I used this very fun print on the back and did a heart and a little tag with my initials in the year.
And the fabric is cute because it's shiny, sparkly fabric.
Yeah.
This is a Mill Hill kit that I finished, and I did it was supposed to be a magnet, but I made it an ornament, so I added the beaded holder for it. So yeah, that was fun to do. I saw Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch did this, and so I thought, oh, if she did it, I'm going to do it. I thought it was really cute. I liked it. And then I have let me just do these.
Yeah.
And then I have the snowman, drunken snowman, the stocking, and then I have Noel. These were fun to do. This one was a lot of stitching because that whole background is solid. And then I love this one. This was Jingle. There. So.
All right. My next FFO is Snow White by Little House Needleworks. This is stitched on a navy linen with, I think, B5200. I stitched it in 2019 and I had it framed at Michael's. They made the frame.
I was saying, was that a custom frame?
Yes, custom frame.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yep.
Okay, keep going. You've got many more.
Next for me is Give Thanks by Hands On Design. This is stitched on 32 count pumpkin linen with the called for threads. I saw that linen and for a long time I was looking for something to stitch on it, and this was the perfect pattern.
It is.
I finished this as a pillow. This is Priscilla's plaid fabric. I did a covered button and I had that wooden leaf in my stash, and then I did chenille glued around the edges and just black fabric on the back. So that was FFO number 8. You want me to do one more?
Keep going.
Okay, number 9. This was a new style of finish for me. I did my first stand-up. So this is Lady Liberty. She was from a kit. Then I stitched her in 2017. Don't look too close at the angles here, but I enjoyed trying this new finishing method. I did the backing fabric from my stash, and then I made this with 2 different colors of pearl cotton in gray and green. So that's my first and only stand-up so far, but I enjoyed making it. I'll do that again.
Why don't we both show these at the same time?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, pardon me.
I'm going in order.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The next one I'll have to insert a picture of. This is a pillow. It is Be Extraordinary by Shepherd's Bush. It was stitched in 2012. I think that's my oldest FFO for this year. With the kit linen, which was a 10 count Tula Sparkle, and kit threads. I finished it as a pillow with fabric from my stash and mini pom-poms. And on the back, I put a little wool flower to close it up.
Okay. And where is that?
That was a gift to one of my Girl Scouts who left the troop earlier. So she didn't get one of the final gifts, but I still gave her that.
That's good. Yeah, that was nice.
My next one also was a gift. This is Snip Snip by October House Fiber Arts. And this was my exchange piece for our 2023 retreat. I stitched it on just some linen I had in my stash. I used some called for, some substituted threads, and I finished it as a pillow with Lady Dot mini poms and a 2023 charm on the back.
Okay. I don't have a list like she does. I just finished things, and I was glad I finished them. This is a kit from Shepherd's Bush, Land of Liberty, and that was really neat because once you stitched it, it was done. It came totally made, and there it is. And so you just opened it up, stitched it, zipped it up, and you were finished. So that was a very nice FFO. That was a very quick one. Okay.
My next one is also a framed piece. This is Charting a Course. This was a Jan Lynn kit. I finished it in 2021. I had this framed at Michael's. It was stitched on the kit Ada with the kit threads. And this one I entered in the state fair over the summer, and I won a first prize ribbon for this. So very, very happy with this one.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
Go ahead.
No, you've got more.
Okay.
We'll be here all day.
Next is Playing with Jacks by the Cricket Collection.
I love that one.
And this was framed by Liz Stapleton. And I think I found the frame and she framed it for me. This was stitched in 2019. It was stitched on Weeks gingham linen, and I used the called for threads, although I did substitute some of the places where I put them. Like these, I know these leaves on the bottom, I made them darker. Yeah, and that was finished number 13 for me.
I love that one.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's really pretty.
I love the fabric. The fabric is perfect.
The fabric is awesome.
It was great.
Yes.
Great choice.
Thank you.
Go ahead, keep going.
Number 14, Hello Spring by Cottage Garden Samplings. This was stitched on 14 count light peach Ada with the called for DMC threads. The box frame is from Hobby Lobby and the chenille is from Lady Dot. And this is a shop model at Persnickety Stitchers.
Okay. And she read it easily because it's all written on the back.
Yes, I have cards on the back for the owner.
Yeah, for the shop models, we do that.
All right, you
Keep
go
going.
ahead.
Oh, okay. This is one that I finished this year. It started out as Noel, and when I got to the N and the O, Jennifer looked at it and said, you can't fit the rest on there. So I took out the N and I made Joy.
Yeah.
And then I stuffed it and I embroidered a little label before I closed it up. And so, yeah, that's my Joy, or Noel, aka Joy.
Okay, I have to look at the date on this one. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, my next finish is a wall hanging. This is the Blocks of the Month Stitch Along by Doreen Jones that was stitched in 2019. I finished it as a wall hanging. It was stitched on 28 count Perman linen in antique white with the called for DMC. I changed that middle block to make it a Medal of Honor block because that was more meaningful for May for the US. Doreen is from the UK, I think, and so she had something that was more European, and so I switched it out. I guess I could say I designed my own Medal of Honor. I graphed it out and made that, and then I stitched this into a wall hanging It has a flange here and then border fabric and just a random fat quarter on the back. That was FFO number 17. Number 18 is Circle of Flowers by OriTM, and this was stitched in 2022 and finished in the hoop. I blanket stitched the felt onto the back to close it up, and this was stitched on 28 count Monaco with all the called for DMC threads. That was a fun one to stitch.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
Those are fun because when you finish one of your symbols,
like each,
you know, it's done.
Each motif feels like a little bitty finish.
Yeah, it's really kind of nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then this was one I had done for quite a while, and all I needed to do was put it together, and I did. And when I originally showed it to you guys, it didn't have the charm on it because it fell. But I found it on the floor after we filmed, and I managed to get it back on. So this is another finish where I closed it up and just embroidered a little label for the back.
My next two are both Mill Hill kits that are in Mill Hill frames. This is Polar Surprise. I stitched this back in 2018 with the Kit Ada and Kit threads. I totally forgot to put it out at Christmas, but I think it can be a winter piece, so it'll stick out for the next couple of months. And this was finished in it's a really dark navy blue Mill Hill frame. I'm not sure I love the frame. I might go back in for the brighter blue frame and flip it out at some point. But
I like it.
It's finished for now.
I like it because it sets off your piece. Yeah. And it makes this your focus. If you use the wrong kind of frame, sometimes it takes away from your stitching.
I know, but on the pattern, it shows the lighter blue frame and it really pops.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. It's finished for now. Number 21 for the year. This is the Dahlia Mill Hill kit. I stitched this in 2022 and finished it in 2023 in this white Mill Hill frame with the little button that you glue on the bottom.
Okay. Then I made this year. I made one last year also. I guess the year before. For our next door neighbor. This is for the baby. And this is his first Christmas. So yeah, I called them up. I said, have you taken your Christmas decorations down yet? I need a few. And so she was very kind, and we got them all together. And then I think this is another one that I finished. I didn't finish. I've had it stitched forever, and it was hanging on my design wall. And when I had a couple of things finished, I thought, I'm going to let Teresa do this because it's an interesting shape. And I think she did a really good job. So I'm really pleased with that. I like the stitching, but I like the finishing too.
Yeah.
Okay.
My next finish is Christmas Joy by Praiseworthy Stitches. Everything you see was a kit. And I stitched that this year. This was a market release. I got it at market. I stitched it not long after, and I finished it in July. I used the entire kit and finished it just as called for. Running out of room.
This is my first berry I did by Erica Michael. It's called, it's the Winter Berry. And I had some issues with finishing it. It turned out to be huge. I don't think berries are supposed to be this big. This one obviously had Viagra or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's big. And the next berry I make will definitely be on smaller thread, lower count thread. Or it'll be over one or something. But this is huge. But anyway, I've done a berry.
For those of you who are counting, that's the second Viagra reference in our Flosstube history.
Just for you, Tricia.
Okay, this is Sunshine House by Little Stitch Girl. I started this as part of Stitch Mania, and I finished it this year, or in 23. It's stitched on 32 count flax Belfast linen with the called for DMC and Classic Colorworks, and it is magnetized to a sign that was at Hobby Lobby, and I have 2 more of these houses to finish, so hopefully I will have them done sometime in the near future so that I can switch them out through the seasons.
Oh, that'll be, oh, they're seasonal.
Yeah, this is I think this is spring.
Spring, yeah, it's really
or summer, like it could sit out for several months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have all the seasons. I think I just have 2 others.
Oh,
I know I have Christmas House. Next is Penelope and Her Peeps. This is Brenda Gervais from the Jelly Bean Jubilee book. And this was stitched and finished in 2023. I think this might have been another whip go start. No, I think it was a retreat start. Anyway, it doesn't matter when I started.
Yeah,
I stitched it and finished it. It's also on 28 count flax, and this is stitched with sulky threads. It is a mounted piece. I didn't even finish the back. This can sit on an easel or lean against a wall or a basket, or I have a wooden box frame I might put magnets on to hang this with.
Okay, my next one was a swap for retreat, and it was called Home, and it was by Trilogy. And I have a note. Jennifer will insert a picture of that. I think we have pictures of most of the ones that we've given away, so that's kind of nice to be able to do that.
Good. All right. Next up is an ornament, a gigantic ornament finish,
wow.
But an ornament finish.
It's huge.
I know. This is the reindeer from White Christmas by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It's stitched on 25 count platinum Lugana with the called for DMC threads, and I finished it as a wrapped hoop with a felt backing that's stitched on, and the same fabric that wraps the hoop is the hanger. And this was stitched in 2022 and finished in 2023. You want me to go another one?
Sure.
The next one is a picture I will insert. It's called Fabric and Flosstube by Helen Daly, East Coast Crafter. And I stitched this for Michelle, Penny's daughter Shares. I surprised her for her birthday, and this was part of her birthday gift. It was stitched on 32 count parchment linen with the called for threads and finished as a pillow with fabric from my stash and Lady Dot ruler trim. And I did a pocket finish in the back so I could insert a note for her.
That was nice.
Yeah. Another one?
Oh, keep going.
Okay. Well, this works out because the same weekend that I surprised Michelle, I found the frame and Paula finished it while I was shopping in Craft Gallery. This is Sleigh Bells Ring by Mimi's Quilts. It was stitched in 2016. I just have a blank here. On oatmeal Aida with the called for threads, and I'm pretty sure they are DMC. This is probably one of my favorite finishes for the year because I just love how this frame just fits it perfectly.
It was worth the wait.
And the other perfect part is that Paula finished it right
waited.
there. Yeah. So I came home with this as an FFO, which was very exciting.
Pretty exciting. I have a shop model called This Land Is Ours, and that's one of the ones we didn't bring home because we were running around the shop and we didn't get it. So we'll insert a picture of that.
Do you remember who it's by?
Nope. Nope. I didn't write anything down. I know it was done on 32 count Jobelin lamb's wool.
I feel like it might have been homespun
elegance. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
It was done on 32 count lamb's wool, Jobelin lamb's wool with DMC threads.
All right, my next finish is a Star Spangled Birthday by Nancy's Needle. This is a counted thread piece stitched on canvas with the called for threads. I stitched this in 2021 and they custom framed it for me at Stitch and Frame in Fort Wayne, Indiana. You want me to do my other one from Fort Wayne? Okay, we're up to number 30. This is Trick or Treat by Stitching with the Housewives. This was stitched on 28 count Lugana with the called for colors. I think most of them were Classic Colorworks. It was also framed at Stitch and Frame, and this was originally stitched in 2020.
Okay. This was a challenge that I did with Jamie and Terry of Cornhusker State Stitchers, and this was framed at
Hobby Lobby?
I don't know, it doesn't say. It must have
Michael's. One of them.
No, it doesn't.
You bought the frame.
I bought the frame. Yeah, it was at Michael's. I found it at Michael's. That's right. So yeah, the frame was perfect. You can see it's kind of a rough finish, and I love the fabric I did it on. I can't tell you what the fabric is right now. But
it was Vintage Stormy Night, I
That's
think.
what it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah, with all the called for colors.
Yep, with called for colors.
And the last piece that you'll ever stitch from the bottom up.
Yes.
Sorry, Terry.
Yes. I tried, but oh my goodness.
My next finish is Crab Dance by Tiny Modernist. This is stitched on 14 count lilac Aida with all the called for DMCs, and this is a shop model at Persnickety Stitchers. I stitched and finished it this year, and because of Michelle's Year of the Fringe, as I dubbed 2023 for her, I finished it with this fringe edging where you just stitch around the edge and then you cut the threads and fringe them out. And then I glued it to this decorative piece, which came from Hobby Lobby.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Then my next finish, also this is the Michelle part of the episode because I started these when I was there with her for her birthday. This is Christmas Panels by Frony Ritter Designs. And I stitched these on perforated paper with the called for threads. I glued them to some red felt, which I cut really tight. And then I glued them to these tags, which we got at market, I think also from Frony Ritter's booth.
I don't think you'd want the felt any bigger. I think it just sets them off just enough.
Oh, thank you.
I think it looks fine.
Yeah. So that was finish number 32.
Ooh. Okay, then I made 2 of these, and I'm hoping yours is grabbable.
I didn't bring it.
Oh, you didn't bring it? Okay.
Don't bring it because you had that one.
So this is the Joy, which I got from Hobby Lobby, and this is the pattern, the alphabet by JBW Designs and Judy Whitman. And what I did is when I did this, if I can get this out of the way, anyway, I put their initial in a different in the green. And when I made one for Jennifer, her initial is in green. Green is an N. And I've done a few of these, and I think I have a couple more in my closet. But I thought it was kind of a neat gift. And thank you, Danielle, for letting me have it back.
Yeah, and thank you for my Christmas gift. Number 33, All You Need Is Love, or Love Is All You Need. I don't know what the official title of this one is. This is by Sam Sarah Designs. I stitched this in 2020. It is stitched on 20 count Peoria purple with the mostly called for threads. I did change it out because the model was on a pink linen, and so I had to switch some of them so that they would show up on the purple linen. I laced this and attached it to mat board, and then I used Chicky. The name of the chenille is Chicky from Lady Dot, and it is magnetized to a box frame. And I have another piece that will also fit on this box frame someday when I get the guts to finish that one. Next is Vinny Vampire. He's a Doodles kit by Hobnob Designs. I stitched him in 2020 on a mystery scrap of green Lugana in DMCs that I selected, and I finished him as a pillow with that fun fabric on the back and Lady Dot purple chenille around the edges.
These are 2 little ones. I don't know how we're going to hold these up. This is the Acorn and the Pumpkin from Trilogy, and Kim, our friend Kim, loaned me the pumpkin, and I had the acorn. And they're tiny, but I love them. And then the rings came from Hobby Lobby. And I couldn't believe it when I finished them and they actually fit, because on the pattern, they're shown done in a tiny, not a big, maybe a frame like this with a little tiny opening. And I checked out the price and I was like, no swinging way. But then when I found these little rings, I was like, they were perfect. So they fit really well. And they're stitched
over 1/28?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
My next finish is the Ooh La La Scissor Fob by JBW Designs. This was a kit that I bought several years ago and I stitched in 2022. I finished it with the directions from her kit. It has rickrack on the edge, a pocket in the back for scissors, and actually there's another little piece, but it's attached to my scissors that I didn't bring with me. So the other piece goes along with it too. That's Ooh La La Scissor Fob. You want me to keep going?
Sure.
Okay. 36 is National Park's Birthday by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I stitched this in 2023 and had it framed at Michael's. It is stitched on 25 count pearl linen natural, which is no longer made, sadly. If anybody finds it in their stash, they don't want it, please let me know. I will be happy to purchase it. It was stitched with DMC threads, substitutions for the Cosmo threads that were in the pattern. And I did make a couple of substitutions just to fit the colors a little bit better. That's FFO 36.
Okay, then I have the witch's hat, which I think is adorable. And that was a pattern loaned to me again by Kim. And this was finished by the finisher in our store, Teresa. And I just think it's adorable. And yeah. Jennifer will show you one of hers later.
Yeah. Number 37 for me is Liberty Bag by Shepherd's Bush. Mom told you all about this. I bought it at the exact same place she did, and I finished it in the beginning of December. That is the easiest finish of the year. Last stitch equals FFO.
Yep, it was great. It was great.
Next is Chili Penguins by the Birdhouse. This is a hand embroidery piece that I stitched. Oh, I didn't put the date. I think I stitched this in 22. I remember stitching it at tennis. I think it was last year, 2022. And it came printed on this fabric, and I picked a red DMC. I don't remember which color it was. I didn't write it down. I finished that with fabric from my stash, which was Nancy Halverson, Art to Art, Art to Heart fabric, and it is a wall hanging.
This is a, I think this is the it's either Mosey and Me or Sam Sarah. I think it's Stars, Stripes, and Sam. So it's Mosey and Me. This was done on Ada. I used my stash floss, and it was framed by Liz. And she did a great job. He's really cute. So I have a patriotic bathroom, so he will be in there.
I have 2 left.
That's all?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm going to go some more.
Okay.
Okay. This is my, let me see where I can find it. A Candy Corn of Mischief pillow, and it's pearl cotton. It was a kit from Shepherd's Bush.
No.
No.
Bent Creek.
Bent Creek. And it came as a kit, and Jennifer gave it to me after she finished hers, so I finally got down and bought the rest of the pearl cotton because I didn't have enough of it. And then I just framed it into a pillow. And that was a lot of fun. That was a cute stitch.
Yeah.
That was a cute stitch. And then I have my snowman. I know this will surprise everybody. And this was from Kay's Frames, this frame, and it's a Heinz It kit, and it was framed by Liz. And I love it. I also put snowman in my bathroom in the winter, so before the patriotic part, then it'll be the snowman.
Okay, my 39th finish for the year is my salty one, so turn away if kids are around. This is Sorry I Called You Beep that I made for my friend. It is by Stitchy Little Fox on Etsy. I stitched it this year on some stash linen that was a pink, probably 28 or 32 count with sampler thread and Weeks threads, and I finished it as a flat fold with Lady Dot Chenille and gifted it to her for Christmas. I told her she should put it in her Zoom window so people could see it when she was on Zoom. She probably won't do that. Probably wise not to do it. Okay, while you're looking, I'll share my last FFO for the year is Spellbinding, which is the hat from the pattern, which Mom just showed you. I FFO'd my own. Not for the faint of heart. I learned a lot as I did it, but I enjoyed finishing it. And this was finished on December 30th.
Okay, and this is the Apple Blossom Sampler. And this is by
Drawn Thread.
Drawn Thread. And let me see. Okay, it's done on 32 count Perman. And I use Splendor Silks because I had not sewn with silk before, and they had used silks. So I am really pleased with that. And that, again, was framed by Stitch and Frame up in Fort Wayne. And then I have this one, which I just love. This is a Halloween one, and that's a Bent Creek Halloween row, I think it's called.
Spooky row.
Oh, Spooky row, that's right.
Yeah.
And my thing is all messed up. Okay, Spooky Row was done on 32 count dirty linen and used weeks. And it was framed at Michael's. I had the frame, and so they did the framing. And it's done with flip things on the back so that I can put other rows in there and change them out. So yeah, okay. I think that's the end of finished ones for me.
All right, great. That's the end of FFOs.
Right.
Now it's time for cross stitch finishes. These are any things that we stitched and that we finished the stitching on in 2023. If there are items that were FFO'd, we've already showed you those. So these will be just the unfinished stitched pieces.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first one, this is, did someone say sushi? And I made this for our sushi chef. I think I'm safe in showing it because I doubt she watches. And I just need to get it framed. So I think it's going to fit in like a 5x7 or a frame. So I just need, and Jennifer finished it. I was working on it and it just needed a little bit more. And she was like, oh, I'll just finish it. So she took it and actually finished it. But I did most of the sewing. Yeah, most of it. Most of it.
And my first one, some of you may be surprised because this was supposed to be a Christmas present, but I didn't get it done. This is a Weekend in Paris. This was a Dimensions Gold kit, and it was stitched on the kit Ada with all of the kit fabric. I have the frame to finish this. I just need to stretch it and get it finished. So hopefully that'll happen before next Christmas.
And this is called Snowflake. I think it was a free pattern, and I did it on 28 count Jobelin, and I used Splendor, which is a 12 ply silk, so I was able to ply it down. And that was fun. I've never worked with silk before. Yeah. And I need to finish it because I've got a nice piece of fabric here that's just waiting to be used. Yeah. But yeah, so that was
they were called the Nordic Pin Pillows by Amanda. And I can't remember her Instagram name.
Okay.
The next one I finished is Yuletide Revels. I started this was my Christmas Day start in 22. It was an impromptu start. It's stitched on 18 count Ada with one strand of Splendor silk, red. It was a big old piece. I didn't actually love stitching it that much, so I stopped it here and plan to finish that into a drum. It'll be my
that'll be cute.
Drum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is called Rondo, and this was, hang on, 28 count Lugana antique white, and it's done with Sulky 12 weight, and the number is 4017. That was one of the things that we saw at retreat, and Margaret got everybody buying the Sulky threads. Yeah. And when I first started this, I didn't know if it was going to show up enough, but I love it. I think it really turned out. It's really pretty. So I have to find a frame for it.
My next one was a big finish. This was a 3-year project. I started this in 21 and I finished it in 23. And this is a Flosstube favorite every time I show it. This is Goody Grimwood by Plum Street Samplers. It is stitched on 40 count Stars Hollow by R&R Reproductions. This was my first 40 count piece. I absolutely loved it. Had a blast, and I am looking for the right frame, and I already know which framer I'm going to go to, the one who does it best. And I just need to get a good frame for this to really set
And she won't tell you, but when she finished it, she couldn't find it.
Well, for a little while, I didn't know where it was.
It was in hiding.
It was in hiding, but it's made itself known now.
This is my Give Thanks, which is done on a 28 count Jaslyn Golden Harvest, and this was by Hands On Design. And I think I have a frame for it. We found it in a pile to be framed. Yeah. So I just need to get my act together and get it framed.
This is Prairie Birds by Prairie Schooler. And I stitched the cardinal block on this 18 count Ada dyed with denim blue Rit dye that we hand dyed. And I think I used all the called for threads. I may have substituted 1 or 2 to make them show up better on this dark blue.
That's really dark on, let me see.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you almost need like a white or some kind of frame, a gold frame or something to
I think I'm probably just going to make it into a pillow.
Yeah,
it'll wind up as a pillow.
This is one of the guys that I did. And he's from
the Imprint series.
The Imprint series.
Yeah.
And I did another one as a swap, and I just did him plain. And I can't remember his name.
Maybe Eagle?
No, I can't remember. But
okay.
He was done on 28 count silver blue. Looks like a Lugana.
My next one is Block Party 31st by Hands On Design. And this is stitched on 28 count black Lugana. And there's the long piece. No, I take it back. 28 count cashel linen. And there's the bottom and there's the top. And this will be finished as a mattress finish when I decide I'm ready to sit down and do that.
And then I have one called Spring, which is from Country Cottage Needleworks. I did that in the one summer for my daughter-in-law, and I gave her the set of 4 seasons for Christmas. Okay.
The next one is a FIP, which is a finish in progress. You guys are gonna laugh. This is Philanthropic Pumpkin by Hands On Design. I stitched this at the end of the year. I've started the finish, but I have not finished the finish because there's no stem in my pumpkin. This was stitched on a mystery piece of, I think, 28 or 32 count linen with all of the called for threads, but I did change out and used the lighter brown in the cross hatching there. And hopefully that will be a finish very soon.
And then I did a Mill Hill kit called Puzzled, which is a store model, another one that we missed when we were running through the store grabbing pieces that were finished. So we don't have that. And then, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. And then this is the, hang on, I think I need to put it back here. This is the Holly Berry Sampler, and it's done on linen. I don't have a count, and it's done with Weeks and Gentle Arts. And I really like it. I'm hoping I can find it.
And that is Bent Creek.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I think that's when you got at a retreat.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And again, it's alphabet, so you know I like it.
And this is Mr. McGobbles by Pinker and Pumpkin. This is a freebie on Melissa's blog, and he is stitched on 18 count oatmeal Aida with all the called for DMCs. This one is also planned to be a pillow.
This is Highland Woods by, I have it right over there.
No.
No, we'll find it. We'll put it in.
Helen's Friend.
No.
Barbie.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's a store model, and I have a frame which we've been working on painting. It didn't come out the way I thought it would when we first did it, so we're redoing it. And I brought this home, and it was sitting on the chest at the end of the bed along with some others, and I came in the bedroom and found it in the dog's mouth. So I got it out before she ate it. She really liked it. So I'm really pleased. I love this one. It was so much fun to do. I used Lancaster Red Weeks Dye Works, and it called for 3 skeins, but I wound up with 4 because that's a lot of red. Yeah. But it went very quickly. It was a fun stitch. I really enjoyed it.
28 or 32 count.
Let's see. Where is it?
Highland Woods, right?
Highland Woods, yeah. It's a 28 count Joblin Antique White. Oh, it's Pedal Pusher.
Pedal Pusher. That's it.
And it's a shop model. So at some point I'll get it in a frame, and then it'll look a little better.
My next finish was Camping Out, a Mill Hill kit, and this was stitched with all of the kit floss and beads on the dark blue perforated paper.
I originally was going to make that for her, and it just sat, and finally I gave it to her as a present one year.
Here, take it.
You'll enjoy this. Okay, then this is a set of 4. I gotta find the Follow La by Imprints, the Mary, and then
the Imprints is the series.
The Imprints is the series, yeah.
Yeah.
Harvest and Home and Follow La and Mary. So I did them all on the same fabric.
28 count Mushroom Lugana. And I think for these you used your color.
Sulky Petites.
Sulky Petites,
yeah.
There you go.
And so like this one, I believe, was supposed to be, but the 2 Christmas ones are supposed to be 2 color. But I had the Sulky, I thought the star and the hanger for the ornament would look better. not done. So I'd finish those. Yeah. So they'll become pillows at some point, and they'll go in my pillow tray.
This is a Prairie Schooler pattern. It doesn't have a name, so I call him Canoeing Santa. And he is stitched on 28 count or 32 count linen. I think the name was Desert Sand, but I'm not positive about that. And I used the called for DMC colors for that. And I plan to finish him as an ornament. You can see he hasn't been ironed yet. He still has the hoop marks in him.
Okay, and this is called Stars and Stripes Forever. And that was done on 32 count beautiful beige. And I used my Sulky. And this was the Sal we had with Kim.
And it's Bent Creek.
Bent Creek, yes. Yeah. Another one of the long ones. So that was fun to do.
And my last stitching finish for the year is Woodland Peace by Heart and Hand. And this was a kit. I stitched it with the kit fabric and the kit threads. The kit fabric is some kind of linen that I don't actually care for. But this one I also plan to finish as an ornament.
Okay, and this guy is, I don't know his name, but I have had him around for a while, and I finally finished him, but he obviously had an issue when I used 2 different dye lots of thread. So that's a good example of when you're going to do something, make sure you have enough, because you can't always guarantee. This was done probably with Weeks or Gentle Art, and they are over dyes, and they don't, you know, there's no guarantee that they're going to be exactly the same every time. So yeah, so he kind of looks like he was, I don't know, playing in the mud, or somebody hosed him down. I don't know what happened, but he's got a funny bottom.
Yeah,
he's got a funny bottom.
He's on a piece of linen.
Yeah, he's on a piece of linen. I don't even know his name.
Yeah. This one. This is Christmas Joy by Praiseworthy Stitches. You saw my FFO for this. She has stitched it, and we'll finish it soon, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes, I have it. I pulled it out of the finishing bag. And this is, I can't remember what he's called. I should have it here, maybe. This is the Snowman Sampler, and it's on 28 count Vintage Country Mocha, Lugana, and it's Weeks and DMC.
From Cherry Hill
Stitchery. Yeah, that was from her online shop.
So cute.
And I love him. And one of the viewers did point out to me when I showed it the last time as being finished that I had forgotten his pom-pom. So I went back and looked at the pattern, and sure enough, I left his pom-pom off. Yeah. So now he is definitely finished.
Excellent.
So yeah.
That is all our stitching finishes. Okay, so this is our quilting segment. So included in this segment is pretty much anything we make with our sewing machine. So we'll be quilting, general sewing, teenage boys pillowcase, or for you, also machine embroidery will be in this segment. So why don't you show them what smells so
okay,
pungent?
For Jack, I made him a tennis pillowcase. I put his name on it. And then this is the pillowcase. Yeah. And I think it came straight off his bed. And I think it's got goop on it or something. Anyway, and it's odoriferous, let me tell you. But anyway, that's the pillowcase, and he really does like it, evidently. Yeah. He was surprised when he found out it had his name on it. I said, well, who else's name would I put on it? But, you know, that's okay. Now, you can keep it on your side because it's going home with you.
Yeah, there's a whole stack that goes back home with me. Whew. All right, so mine are going to be in order because I kept my list that way, and I have them all organized that way. So actually the first project that I finished for this year was a gift for my friend Beth. It was actually her 2022 Christmas gift, and it's the Sophie tote bag. So I will put a picture of that here. This is a Quilt As You Go tote bag. It's called the Sophie tote bag. And you can probably go back to our January Flosstube where I talk more about it. And maybe even I showed it before I mailed it. But that was the first project that I made for this year. And that was a fun one.
Good. Okay. Then this is one I just did right after Christmas because I was really busy finishing up a lot of things, you'll see. And I took some me time because I have a runaround bag that I'm not crazy about. And so I did this one. And this is leftover fabric from project bags that I made. I had enough left over. Okay, let's hold and so,
so they can see.
And so
this pattern is called Runaround Bag. It's from Lazy Girl Designs. It has a pocket in the back, a zipper in the front, and it is a great kind of crossbody runaround bag.
And I have bigger bags, and sometimes I switch back to them, and then I come home and I switch back to this just because it's small, and I can cram a lot of stuff in here, and that works out really well. Okay.
Okay, my next one is a quilt top. So this is the Moda Love Charm Top, and I made this early in the year. It is still an unfinished quilt top. It is one of a couple you will see today. This was made, I went and bought the fabric for the background, and then I pulled all the others are batik scraps from fat quarters or scraps that I had. I liked the blue, purple, tealy green. So this one needs to actually get finished up because my intent was to have that hanging in January as like a winter quilt. Nice, you know, wintry colors.
Oh, it's pretty.
So, yeah.
Okay, then there's a little story about this one. This is a red throw that's fleece, and we won't open up the whole thing because
I literally stole off her lap to bring here.
This I made for Jenna for Christmas. You can see I put a red binding on it and stuff, and this is it's a nice fleece, and you can see this is actually stitched motifs on it. All the snowflakes are stitched, and I originally bought this fabric to make a winter top for Jennifer when she was pregnant with Jenna, who is now 18. So as we were going through my bins last year, and Jennifer was saying, and you haven't done this, and you haven't done that, and you need to do this, she said, why don't you just put binding on this and make it for Jenna for her Christmas? Because she loves soft. So I did, and she's happy, and it's out of my bins.
Yes, and just the stitched, that's how you bought the fabric.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it came like this. You didn't do the stitching.
No, it came like that.
Yes, and I stole it off her lap to bring here, and I had to go downstairs and get her another blanket. All right, you ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay, my next one is also not here anymore. This is a quilt that I made for a work colleague who had her first baby, and she was here in the summer. So I quickly whipped this up. I decided, as we do, you know, like 3 weeks before, like, oh, I should make her a quilt. So it was a very easy pattern to put together. And then I quilted it, bound it, gave it to her, and she absolutely loved it. And the baby is now a couple of months old. Super cute. She keeps sending pictures. So this is the pattern Triple Treat Petite by Atkinson Designs. Okay.
Then this one you've seen before. This was my challenge fabric this year for our quilt retreat. And this was the challenge fabric, the black and white. It's not really a check. But I found the yellow and black and white fabric at Quilts Plus in Lebanon. And this is by the Bedobo Bag people, and I can't remember the name of it.
You don't have it on your list?
No, because I didn't even have it on my list. Okay. And so, yeah, but this was fun to do. And this is the small size. I'm sure glad I didn't do the big size. But it'll make a great knitting bag or something like that. So,
and this would probably be like in a late October, early November Flosstube. Where you showed the pattern and talked about the bag.
I showed it after retreat.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of a surprise thing. You know, we showed them at retreat. But yeah, this was great. See it, and it opens up, and then it has pockets inside and everything. So yeah, I was really pleased with the way this turned out.
All right, the next one for me is a big one. This is the delightful duffel that I made for my daughter as a graduation present. And there were 7,000 pieces in it. It has pockets. It has zipper pockets. It opens up on the top. It has Velcro. But it was a fun bag to make. So you quilt all the fabric together, and then you put the bag together. And this one, there's the inside. You can see it has mesh pockets. So anyway, this one was a fun one to make. And I think I finished it like 2 days before we left for her to go to college. And she filled it up, and we took off in the car. And she brought it home at Christmas with all her stuff in it. So I get to show you this one. Got a picture.
That's great.
All right, delightful duffel.
Okay, my next are 3 pillowcases I made, which you did see them, but again, they're gone. The Barbie pillowcase I made for my 6-year-old great niece, and it was really cool because it was silver sparkles on it. You'll see it in the picture. And looking for Barbie fabric was a bit of a challenge, but we found it. And then for her older brother, I made a football pillowcase, and for her older sister, I made a volleyball pillowcase. So they're gone, but they were fun. They were fun. we'll insert pictures of them.
Yes. Okay, next up for me was a long time UFO. This is Urban Pods, and I finally quilted this quilt top this year and bound it, and actually have used it. And as I'm looking at it, that's going to come out in January too, because it's perfect to go with the other ones.
Yep, for sure.
This is, I'm not going to open the whole thing up. Well, maybe I'll open a little more up.
You showed that was your quilt of the month, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's hanging in the background of our episode right after I finished it. So this is Urban Pods. That was my, well, I guess technically it was my second quilt, full quilt finish for the year. And this one didn't happen until like September. Yeah, I didn't finish a ton of quilts this year.
No, neither one of us really did.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one was my Halloween pillow, my Boo pillow that I made. And I really had fun making this. And it sits downstairs when it's Halloween. But that was fun.
It's funny that the next one for me was my pillow. This is the Pumpkin Patch Pillow pattern by Kimberbell. Random thread and dog hair, compliments of other things. This is a paper pieced pattern. I made it at our quilt retreat, and I quilted the top of it. And then made it into a pillow.
Yeah. And then my next one is behind us. Our next door neighbor had a little baby boy, and I found this panel at Lowry's in Warsaw, Indiana, and I just thought it was perfect. I wanted a little boy quilt, but I didn't want a baby quilt. And so this has all the cute critters on it and everything, and then my friend Pam quilted it, and we found a quilting pattern with 8 letters. So it's got, see it? It's got alphabet in it. Yeah, isn't that cute?
There's a B right there.
Yeah.
There's a C.
Yep.
Oh, how cute.
I just saw the L a couple minutes ago. Yeah, so it's all letters.
Neat. And, I didn't even know that.
Well, you hadn't really seen it.
Yeah.
And so
cool.
So that's my next one.
All right.
And they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said when I stopped in to pick it up, she said that her daughter, who's the older kid, steals it all the time and says blankie, blankie, blankie. And she says, I keep telling her, no, that's his blankie.
And she has one because I made one for her too.
And she said she tells her, yours is up in your bed. So yeah. Okay, we're getting right to the, well, kind of the end of the year for me. This was my answer for our challenge. So I made a little table topper. And the pattern is called Candy Blossom. It's from So Kind of Wonderful. This is just one block in a big quilt. And you guys, I don't think you've seen this finished yet, because I finished it right before the end of the year, quilted and bound and ready to put on the table. I don't know what time of year I'm going to put this one out. Maybe summer.
Yeah. At retreat, it was just a top.
Yes. Yes, I did
not get
far enough.
So you just finished it, yeah.
Yeah, and there's the challenge fabric in the middle and the corners.
And then I had this finished for a long time, and Jennifer quilted it for me. I still need to put a hanging sleeve on it. But this is my flag quilt.
It has a hanging sleeve on it.
Oh, okay. I already put the hanging sleeve on. That's why it wasn't in the room. Okay. So this is my flag quilt, and it has now finished with a hanging sleeve. I forgot I'd done that.
My next one is also a quilt that I made at our quilt retreat, or quilt top, I should say. This is called Got Cookies. It's Santa and Rudolph peeking in the window at the Christmas cookies. And this one also did not make it to a finished quilt by year end. This is machine applique wool embroidery for Santa, the snowflakes, and the reindeer. So this one will be on the list to hopefully finish before next Christmas.
Okay, then I made a bunch of these this year, and this is the last one, most recent one I made. These are the little glam bags, and with the cork bottom and everything, and it's fully lined.
And those are by Pink Sand Beach?
Pink Sand Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'll do a better job next year of keeping track of the name of the pattern when I keep track of it, since we had a few issues with that today. But anyway, so I probably made at least 8 or 9 of these this year. I'm not sure where they are. They've gone into hiding. You did give some. I gave some away.
Yeah.
But some have just gone into hiding.
Yeah. All right, the next one for me is also a new finish. This was, I think I pieced this quilt in 21, the quilt top, and I just quilted it and bound it over the holidays. This is called Fit to Be Geese, and it is the free pattern that comes along with the Fit to Be Geese ruler. This was part of a challenge that our friend Stephanie had, I think in 2021, to use a tool you already had or a ruler that you already had. So,
that you'd bought and never touched.
Yes, yes. So this was my project from that, and these are hand-dyed fabrics from Australia. That was part of the fabric that I inherited from our friend Lois.
And also, the geese means, for those of you who are not quilters, all these pieces are called flying geese. They're supposed to represent flying geese. So that's why it's called geese.
Fit to be geese.
Fit to be geese. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, do I want to do this one next? This is really big. If you can. This is really big.
Okay, I can help.
Yeah, you gotta. All right, let's see. This is up. This is a quilt that I made for my son-in-law for Christmas. It's huge. Maybe we'll take a picture of it.
Well, this will probably be in our next Flosstube.
Yeah. But it's a national park quilt, and it lists all the national parks. And he loves the national parks, so my friend Pam had bought one and made it for her family, and I said, this is perfect. And then when I got it out, we were like, it's huge. It's quite large. But I was able to find a nice backing for it and some thread. And then I put a label on it, and he got it for Christmas.
Yeah. And the first thing he did was he laid out the quilt and counted how many of the parks he'd been to. Yeah, I think 29.
Oh, wow.
That's what he came up with.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And we're already up to my last one for the year. So my last one was also a quilting project. These are a couple of quilt tops I made a long time ago. And these they were I think a basic gray line with the states, and I took the panel out of borders and made it into a wall hanging and then put it away. And there are actually 2 of them. So in theory, 1 for each kid. My original thought is they could put like a little ribbon or something when they had visited that state. So yeah, so that's my last finish for 2023 in the quilting and sewing category for me. You have more to go.
I still have more. I can't believe it, but I do. This is my challenge quilt from Stephanie, where I used this ruler that I had not used before, which I should have written down what it was. And I think it goes this way, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, that's my, these are all batiks around here. And then this was my focus fabric that I pulled out. And then I found that it really went with it. So yeah, that's finished. I don't think do I have a label on that?
No label and no hanging sleeve.
Okay. So that needs some work. Okay.
I'll just put it over here.
Well, I got a pile over here.
Oh, okay.
So we don't mix them up. Okay, then my next one, you guys have seen these. I did placemats. Those were Quilt As You Go. I did those at retreat. And then when I got home, I finished them up. And there were 6 of them. So it has a pocket over here to put your silverware and your napkin in and everything. So I have 6 of those. So that's done. Then we did the
Wind Drifter
challenge this year.
Last year,
sorry.
Last year, yeah.
And Jennifer quilted this for me. And that has, again, no label on it, but I love it. I'm really pleased with it. And I saw this one originally at the quilt shop near me, and we've told you last week that the owner unfortunately has passed away, and he was so creative and everything, and he picked out some great colors. So this was a fabric pack that he put together, and I'm so glad I chose it and used it for him. So,
and this one has a sleeve, but it still needs the label.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. Scary. Okay, then this is the, good Lord, Moda, which one is it? Love Charm quilt.
So the same one, my first one that I showed, this is your quilt of the same design.
Yeah, yeah. And I made it a little bit bigger because I put this outer border around it and then put originally it just came finished only to here. And so we added that, and I think it looks a lot better. Yeah. So that's that one.
This one also needs a label. So do some of mine. Maybe we'll have a label day.
Label day, yeah. My machine will work overtime. over time. Okay. And then this was another buck a block quilt, or $2 a block, that I finished a few years ago. And then finally I got it done, and my friend Pam quilted it for me, and it's okay. Not necessarily my style, but I think they always turn out so nice. And so I don't know what I'm going to do. This may go as a gift for somebody or something. Yeah, go back on the table. And for Halloween, I made the little girl next door a Halloween bag, and I also made one for her friend Parker. And they obviously went for Halloween. And I talked to Parker's mom actually just yesterday, and she said she loves her bag. She puts stuff in it and carries it around all the time like it's her purse.
Oh, nice.
And it was just a panel, but it had a little place that this belongs to or something, so I was able to embroider their names on it, and they turned out really cute. And we have pictures of them. So that's the end of the, wow.
All right, do you want to hit machine embroidery also?
Sure.
While you're at it? Is that a different list for you?
Yep. Here we go. All right. So my machine embroidery, you know, I made a ton of these last year and this year, but these are the little key rings. Maybe we should put them on. These are the little key rings with the initials on them. And I probably made
30?
60. No, probably 60.
Total, yeah.
Total, I probably made 60 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're fun to make. They're quick. And actually a couple weeks ago, my grandson, Jack, has a girlfriend, but we won't tell anybody. And
you're going to get in trouble.
I know.
For that one.
And hopefully he won't watch. But he did contact me and ask me if I could make one of these for her. Yeah. And so I did. And I said, yes, I would be glad to. So he gave it to her for Christmas along with a stuffed animal, I think. So it's nice to know I rate with the stuffed animals. I did towels for Jenna, which she has the purple ones with the white monogram on them. And we'll need a picture of those. And then for the tennis team, I did the towels for all the graduating seniors. And then I did coasters for the lady coach and a key ring for her. And I did a shirt for the tennis coach. And then for the boy coach. For the boy coach. The he coach, not the she coach. And then for the mom, who is so supportive of the team and everything, I made her and her husband coasters, and I made her a key ring. So that was that. And then I made, one day I was talking to Jenna when she was at school, and I couldn't figure out what she was doing. She was folding up something. And I said, what are you doing? And she said, well, I'm making myself a coaster. She had a piece of paper towel. So I sat down and immediately made coasters for Jenna, her roommate, and her good friend. So I sent those off. And then I've made coasters for several people with the initials on them. You've seen them. Okay. And then I made a bunch of these. I can't find them. I think they're all gone. I have to make some more. But I had snowflake mug rugs, but we can put those in, or candle mats. And then I also made these, which are Christmas lights. And they're really cute with a small candle on them. So those have been gifts this year. And then, let's see, I think.
Those.
Oh, yeah.
That's in your hand.
Then, and then I made these little wallets. And they're simple. I was able to put an initial on them. And I found this cork at Zigzag Quilts over in Greenfield. And I love it. I think it's so pretty. And so, yeah, so I made a bunch of these for gifts also. Great. And I think that's it for my, oh, wait. No, yeah, that's everything.
That's everything for
That's everything, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Fantastic.
We're back, we've reconnoitered, and now we have a smaller category, so it won't be quite as overwhelming for us or for you. I'll start.
Tell them the category
first. Oh, sorry. The category is knitting and crochet. I knit, she crochets.
Yes. Okay,
so this is the scarf I made for Jennifer last year. And you can see it's got holes in it. It's supposed to, but it was really pretty. It was a fun scarf to make. So I made it for purple because I made also one last Christmas for a friend, and I gave it to her, and I had it left over, so I made one for Jennifer. And then this year I saw this pattern, and it was really cute, and I still had purple left over. So I made a hat for Jenna, and I liked it so much that I made a hat for Jennifer. I love this pattern. It was so easy, and it looks so good. And then hopefully in the next couple days, the yarn will come to make a hat for me, because I really like this pattern. It didn't take long. It was very quick.
Did you get blue?
Of course.
Yeah.
What other color is there?
Well, you like red too.
And you want to go next?
No, you go.
Okay. And then I finished these socks. And I also have a pair of sparkly socks, which I believe are in the laundry. And I wasn't going to bring smelly socks because we have smelly
Because we already had a smell.
We don't need smelly socks.
Yes.
So yeah, so that was, I did actually do a little bit of work on my sweater. It's downstairs. Yeah. I took it the other day waiting for a doctor's appointment, and I was in the car by myself and it was quiet and I could do some work on it. So we'll see. Maybe there really is a God and I'll get it done this year. We don't know. We'll try.
And then I had one crochet finish for this year. I also had another project. I can't remember if I finished it last year or in 2022 and just blocked it in 23, which was the hexagon pillow, but it's not done. So I'm not going to show that.
It was blocked.
Pieces and it's blocked, but this is my only crochet finish for the year. This is my crochet Frankenstein. And I just think I think he's called Pocket Frankenstein. Cute as button. And I will be making the Pocket Dracula for next Halloween, I hope.
Okay.
All right, that's crochet and knitting.
Okay, we have finished. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Much more than I thought I had done. I was really, really surprised and pleased. Pleased, because I keep buying stuff.
It was a good year.
It was. We got a lot done. And so we hope you enjoyed our finished parade.
Yes.
And our semi-finished parade. And we will be back next week with our regular Two Tall Stitchers video. It won't be a special. And you can follow us on Instagram at Jen Quilter at Grand Stitches. And if you have any questions or anything, you can leave comments below, or you can email us at twotallstitchers@gmail.com. Yeah. And we're glad you joined us. We hope you enjoyed it. And did you want to say anything?
Oh, I was just going to say my blog will be linked below if you'd like a closer look at any of my projects. I do a year in review post every January, and so you can see a picture collage of all of the projects and some of my stats and things like that. So if you enjoy that, hop on over and visit my blog and look for the 2023 year in review post.
And you can tell I don't do stats. Based on my inaccurate notes, I will do a much better job this year, I hope. I'm setting it up a little differently, and I'll be adding names of designers and hopefully a little bit more in the way of notes so I know what I'm doing. Because I have a lot that I did, but I'm like, where's that one? Yeah. So, yes. So, Happy New Year. We were delighted to be with you today on this cold, snowy day. And we hope you're having a good year, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.
Bye.